The following is a presentation of iRacing on PTR TV. We'd like to thank all of our channel partners for their support. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and we hope you enjoy today's broadcast.
Whatever you drive, however you drive. AMSOIL specially engineers lubricants to maximize power, performance, and protection in your vehicles, so you can work hard and play hard with confidence.
There isn't a soul in NASCAR fan zone who doesn't want to see the Chicagoland Speedway come back into fruition. Seeing its last race in 2019 and being shut out in the pandemic year 2020 and really every year since then, the Chicagoland Speedway has been a track every fan wants to see with its multi-groove racing service, abrasive old pavement, and all drivers feel the same. Well, tonight we get to have some fun here today with a new series to the PTR TV family of broadcasts, and we are happy to give you all the action. Welcome everybody to the channel for the Triple Bypass Racing League here in our inauguration event with these guys, and it'll be the Chicago Deep Dish Derby for 120 circuits here around the mile and a half. It's going to be myself, Corey Silva, in the booth, and man in the cameras here in the production truck. And I have who used to be a former driver in this league, of course, our compadre here on the channel, Mr. Brad Dalton. So next gen cars here at Chicagoland. You know these guys pretty well, and it's hard to not have an amazing show at this racetrack.
Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. We're in Chicago, the home of Deep Dish Pizza, where the cheese is under the sauce, or the home of the Windy City. I don't really care which way you know this track, which way you know this city, but I can tell you the track gives good racing, so I'm excited to see how this goes. Of course, Triple Bypass Racing, as you said, Corey, this is a league I know really well. A lot of great friends run in this league of mine. I was very excited to get them to join in for Sunday nights here with us. Maybe some different things to go, but of course these guys, they don't just run on Sundays. They run 5 nights of exciting racing. They're always fun. I've raced Tuesday nights, Thursday nights, Sunday nights, Friday nights with them everywhere, so just depends on kind of how we're feeling. And of course they have a unique style that I enjoy, and you know, if we're gonna run the Deep Dish Derby, then I think it's gonna be a fun night here.
And just ironically enough, the one car that I click on here, we'll find
Sexy
out.
Wall Trip.
Yeah, we'll learn about these little nuances here later in the evening. But the way that things are working here today, we will have, as we discussed, 120 laps, and practice is concluding here, and then we'll have a single car qualifying session for 5 minutes, and then we will head right into our event here. And I do have a little bit of experience. Actually, I have a lot of experience here at Chicago, but not as much recently. I did run an Xfinity race here this past week, as a matter of fact. Again, this track's super racy. You can drive really anywhere on this place, but you kind of alluded to me in the opening, Brad, before we went on air, that some of these drivers are going to be a little thrown off here. They practiced and expected things a little bit earlier in the day, and I guess you can say maybe there was a rain delay or something. We're racing a little bit later in the afternoon than what these guys maybe have anticipated.
Yeah, looking through, I was kind of chatting behind the scenes and found out that things are set a little bit later, a couple hours later than they were expecting. We'll call it the rain delay because that seems to be the theme of today's racing is rain delays.
Hold on. Are we doing group qualifying right now?
It is group qualifying, yes, sir.
Holy Toledo, I haven't seen that since whenever they axed it from the real world.
I told you this was going to be a fun Sunday night. I told you. So, yeah, we're going to enjoy this one. I'm enjoying this one, Corey. I know you're going to enjoy this one as it goes. Couple of housekeeping things that I think we need to make sure we get out of the way. Just some things that are a little bit different than your traditional league. Of course, this is the NicholsOilPros.com series. Tex Nichols, of course, an AMSOIL dealer based out of North Carolina, and he is the main sponsor of this league, or of this Sunday night series. So big shout out to Tex running that. I believe that's a Harman Racing design there going through. So he has the Harman logo there on the side, the H with the flag built into it. But Tex, really nice guy. I've worked with him. I use AMSOIL and have him ship it to me personally for my vehicles. So great guy. And of course, the number 4 is running Star Wars. I mean, Corey, it is May the 4th. I played Star Wars earlier this afternoon in an orchestra concert. Why am I not surprised, man?
Yeah, May the 4th be with you. And then tomorrow night, everybody get your tacos for Cinco de Mayo. 2 of the best days consecutively, depending on your cup of tea there. But the times are rolling on in as we look at the flag stand. William Emert there has the top time at a 30.2. If it's any relation, when we went to Texas here today for the actual race, if you watch this live, they were running 28 seconds around that mile and a half. So this slick surface here, a little bit less banking as somebody, the 78 into the door there, but this slick surface certainly slowing things down. That's Ben Harcum there in the Popeyes car. Probably going to be one that I fancy, because who doesn't love a nice Cajun chicken tender?
Me.
What?
Well, I'm also allergic. The last time I had Popeyes, it almost earned me an ER room trip. So, yeah, I literally cannot have Popeyes. However, I will say the wife does very much enjoy a blackened chicken sandwich. So, somebody in the household enjoys it. I just personally do not.
And what do we got here? We got ourselves a Wiener Schnitzel on the 714 of Patrick Swisshelm there. That's the best you're going to get from me with a German accent. So, a Wiener Schnitzel.
A Wiener Schnitzel on the Patrick Swisshelm. I don't even know if that was German.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm done with accents for the night.
23rd, and he will go to 22nd. Very small gain there. And Matt Parasini has broken the 29-second bracket, as has Steve McClendon there. Let's see what Sean Bradley can do here. 14th. This is one of the tracks where basically your first lap out is going to be the best one. So if you manage to stay out for multiple, the odds of you improving quite slim. Just as I say that, there goes Sean Bradley, P2, 29.97 in that number 77 car. So maybe it is a couple extra laps out. Let's see what Nick Jones can do in the 111 car. See if he cuts the apron. That's something that usually they do here at Chicago, but he'll stay on the circuit, and 19th, and he will gain 1 spot.
Yeah, good runs from everyone there. Sean Bradley, of course, our race sponsor for the night. And part of the perk of being the race sponsor is you get to name the race. So if you're wondering why this is called the Chicago Deep Dish Derby, well, Sean Bradley is 100% the reason why. And we'll grab him during the stage break. We'll talk to him for a minute and kind of get an idea of why he wanted to call it that. And of course, he's running a Slaughter Racing design paint scheme there going through. 30 seconds left to go in qualifying. It's Robinson, Parasini, Bradley, McClendon, and Slaughter. And of course, McClendon was the champion in season number 7 last season. So he's going to be looking to start strong here today if he can.
Yeah, I did actually run one race with these guys last season at the Richmond Raceway. I finished about 7th, and it was the first time I drove a next gen. Oh my god, I don't even know how long here. So thought I was going to be a driver this season, but things changed as they like to do there in life. But happy to be here in the booth, and we'll see what does happen. But that is going to be the end of qualifying. They'll have their cool down, so anybody who is currently on the racetrack can run one more lap and see if they can better their time. And after that, we will head down straight to our grid.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun one tonight. I don't know what it is about a Sunday night race to kick off the week. There's something good coming up on this. And of course, I've been looking at the calendar for the season, kind of getting an idea of where we're going on the season. Chicago, Dover, Richmond. We take a week off, of course, May 25th. June 1st, Talladega, Michigan, the Chicago Street Course. That's going to be a fun one. Nashville, New Hampshire, Texas, Indy, Bristol. And then, of course, our playoff is Daytona, Phoenix, Darlington. So this is going to be a fun, long season kicking off here tonight.
I think the Chicago Street Course fun may be very subjective to the driver there. So I bet 2 guys love it. The rest might be dreading it because that track is surely a doozy. And a lot of people hate it because they want to race here instead. But either way, that's the real world. But either way, let's head down and give you that PTR TV starting lineup here today from Chicago. Matt Robinson from Skippers, Virginia. Never heard of that name before. 29.92. He'll go P1 with Matt Parasini, Brad's twin, if he was just a little bit older, in the second spot. Sean Bradley going to be in third. William E. Mert going to be in fourth. There's a town called Mustang, and he's driving a Mustang. I mean, he has literally no choice. Fifth, we'll find the likes of Ryan Hyatt there. I don't know why he took a picture right at the edge of the camera there, but either way, Steve McClendon going to be in sixth. Seventh is Jeff Slaughter. I can't believe I processed that picture for Kyle. What's his last name?
Gresh. Sexy Waltrip.
I can't believe I processed that picture. Cameron Kane in ninth, and then Brad Kress in 10th.
Going from there, it is, of course, the boss man, Al Corey, in P11. Marty Rogers in 12th place. Going to P13 on the evening is Jared Jackson, and then Matt Harmon there in P14. Keaton Crothers in 15th, and Ben Harcum in P16 in the Popeyes car. From there, it's Nick Jones in the 111 in P17, and Jason Benson in the 42 in P18. Derek Catt finds 19th place in a Pizza Hut SpongeBob car. I respect that. And then Patrick Swisshelm in the Wiener Schnitzel car in P20.
No, it's not. No, you have to. It's not. It's a V. It's a Wiener Schnitzel. In 21st, we got Dylan Freeman with the football helmet on. Let's see if he's a running back or a quarterback there. Tyler Rulas in 22nd. Tex, our series sponsor, in 23rd with Elton Wu. I think I said that more fun the other day. How did I say it? Elton Woo! In 24th. Isaac Voss in 25th with John Crutchley. These pictures get me. 27th. Well, there you go. And then Brian Cooper, Josh Corner, the Aussie, John Campbell, and then Davey Hendricks in 30th. And then just rounding out things here, we got Brody Muchow, Michael Seymour, Ward Fisher, Mark Evie, Tim Merchant, John Barton, and then our final row, we got Tim Merchant and then Gary Wright. That'll be our starting lineup here today. Our race details, sponsored by, we don't have a sponsor, 120 laps around this place. We do have a stage. That'll be at lap number 45. 3 sets of Goodyears to change in the pits. 80% fuel load. And then we have our custom fixed sets and then 1 backup car if necessary.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun one. Tons of things to know through the season and things that we'll kind of go through. First thing I'm going to say is the Starbucks car of JC John Campbell. That's one to watch out for that'll make his way through the field if he's feeling good. No, it's not a Starbucks car, but shout out to Howie Burrows, and we'll just kind of see how things go. I would also keep your eyes up front. Parasini didn't win it all in season 7, and talking to Parasini, my twin aged a little bit to me. I know that Parasini is going to be looking for a good run here as we come to the line, and let's buckle it in for 120 laps.
Green flag in the air. Barney's going to let him get going on the loud pedal, and we're going to drive off into corner number 1 here at the Chicagoland Speedway. You'll see them running all over the 40-ish feet wide pavement here, and it looks like we're going to stick right to the bottom. Parasini going to get a little bit loose in that 24 up to the top of the track. Robinson will clear, and now here comes Parasini looking down low right off the jump here, and we're going to have a lead change instantly unless that outside can persevere.
Yeah, and as we watch Parasini trying to go low there, the 34 of Matthew Robinson high, he does get the run through coming around, and he is going to lead lap 1 off. So Parasini will settle in for second on this first lap. Steve McClendon got a big wiggle out of 2 on that first lap. I saw him get a little bit of a wiggle in the background. He didn't have a good time there, but he has gotten that car back going there with a good old sexy Waltrip behind him as they go around and come through. Kyle Gresh is going to be trying to hold on and get that 27 around, and he's doing a good job looking further back through the field. Everyone's kind of just settled it in here, Corey. Lap 2 down, and I think everybody knows this is the first round of the season. They're getting those jitters out of the way. Everyone's just sort of feeling out how the race is going to go. Nobody's going to try anything too early because, of course, you got to get to the stage. You got to get to the end.
Exactly that. To finish first, you must first finish. Or as I like to say, if you can't win it if you ain't in it here. But look at Sean Bradley. He's going to use that outside lane. I will say the outside lane through 3 and 4, very, very bumpy, very hard to run a consistent line there. But 77 doing a pretty just job there as the 405 of William Emert there in the very, very flamboyantly colored 405 car. He's going to try to figure out which lane to follow, and he's going to go high, he's going to go low, he's going to go high again. He's like, maybe should I go 3 wide? Should I try to split the meat in the sandwich here? But no, he's going to run right in the bottom. Don't want to get in the dirty air of Parasini, and that'll cost him some grip. But Bradley doing a just job staying up there as Robinson pulling away to a half a second lead.
Yeah, Sean Bradley holding on there. Robinson just kind of checking out as these two battle here. That's going to let Robinson really just run away here. And I'm really shocked that that 405 didn't decide to try to make it 3 wide there. Kind of make an ice cream sandwich, of course, because that brightly flamboyant car has some ice cream on the hood. So I'm really shocked that he didn't try to give an ice cream paint job around for a battle as they continue coming around down low. Keep it through the 77 Sean Bradley. I think there was a little bit of a wall scrape there. I saw some sparks. I'm not sure if that's just the car or if that was the wall joining in, but Sean Bradley now going to drop back as Parasini was able to kind of shake things out, and Bradley will drop back a little bit more. Checking back the 9 and the 32. Cress and Rogers battling it out here, Corey.
Yeah, side by side down the very slightly curved back straightaway here at Chicago, and you can see going all the way up to the wall line. And I was telling you, Brad, I could not make that line work through 3 and 4 when I ran here the other day, and I also did that a few times. Marty Rogers, he's going to slightly dent the Bud Light can there and hit that safer barrier in turn 4. Very, very bumpy. 1 and 2 a lot smoother. Didn't really have many problems running up there, but through 3 and 4, certainly a different can of worms. Here comes Brad Kress in that Valvoline car. He's going to look to the inside. You can see, just look at the bumps. Boom, boom, boom. That washboard effect here on that 20-year-old pavement.
Yeah, and it's so interesting to me that 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 are so different. I never would expect that personally running through on a track. And again, I never claimed to be the best racer for the record. Like, let's just make sure that is very clear and underway. I don't ever claim to be a good racer, but even then, when tracks catch me off guard with that, and kind of you have the different setup of, 1 and 2 drive different than 3 and 4, and this line drives different than that line, it always catches me off guard, and it's something that you have to get used to. As we see the ice cream, actually no, that's Sean Bradley going all the way to the bottom. The ice cream car stays up high and running all the way on the flat. I guess that's legal here at Chicago, but I don't like it. Yeah,
no out of bounds here. You will see guys cut the apron there, and what Sean Bradley realized there is that when you enter the corner that low, well, you really can't hold any momentum entering the corner there right down on the white line. So he decided to back out of it and persevere and let everyone come out the other side there. But now he'll gather things back up. He'll get right back to the bumper of Emert here. But now Ryan Hyatt in that number 7 car, what in the world is on that car? That Gecko number 7. He is going to try to figure out where he wants to go. Go high, go low, go in the middle, trying to see what line perseveres, and there's not really a solid answer tonight.
Yeah, not at all a solid answer for anyone as they go through, but they're going to keep things moving. It's hard to believe we're only 10 laps in right now. 120 lap race, of course, stage break lap 45, but we're only 10 laps in, and we did get that back-end info from our admin here that 45 laps is the fuel load. So we are looking at about to the stage break. We'll see who stretches it, if there's a caution in the mix anywhere as they go through. So everyone continuing to battle and push along. A little bit of info again from the back end here as we watch Waltrip continue side by side. This is a driver that I have beef with. Now, let me explain. This is a driver I have beef with because he has wrecked me in racing. He's an IndyCar driver who's very good, but he spun me in IndyCar once. So I have beef with Waltrip.
Not pork, not chicken.
Beef.
All right, thank you. I will say we may need to do a little cosmetic. We changed the structure of our overlays. You can see I've never had the PTR TV on the top of the ticker in yellow. And what do I see, Brett? Every time I glance at that, I'm like, caution! I'm like, oh no, it's just the ticker's yellow now. So that's going to take a little adjustment. I'm going to have to change that there after the race. But still have some, because every time I just see caution flag in them, because we have our little caution overlay that you guys will see in time. But SpongeBob here, Derek Catt, he is trying to close in on Dylan Freeman. Again, just kind of going through the field. And who else do we got? We got one of the other bosses here in the series, Mr. Al Corey. Wait, did Al not fill out the spreadsheet? He was the one
No, I'm pretty sure Al did the spreadsheet. Hold on now.
Well, I literally just refreshed it before we went live, so unless he typed in his iRacing ID number wrong, I don't know why.
Possible.
Yeah.
He is number one on the sheet. I'm looking at it on the back end. Yeah, no. Al, we'll look at that after, but I will say Al's little driver fact is proprietor turn for Snack Shack. I surprisingly don't know what that means of all things, and I just did the same thing. I just looked. I thought we were under caution. Yeah, no. We'll get that one fixed going through.
Yeah, black ticker effective next week here. But see Matt Robinson leading thing, the 2023 Super Heavy Max Daddy Champion. I have no idea what that is, but he won a championship, so I know that's a good thing.
Yeah, literally. Our Star Wars car, our number 4 is out. The sim crashed on him right as the racing started, so he is out for the day. So may the 4th be with you. Well, for Isaac Voss, the 4th was not with the number 4. So that is one car out, and it looks like Tyler Ruielis, the number 160, his mic is not working. Mics are required, so he is out. Keaton Crothers with a good pass there. Runner up in the 24 Hours of Daytona. What a legend.
7, Orion Hyatt. Got the wiggle of all wiggles there, but we got a battle for the lead up and forming here. Robinson may have a shot out of the cannon, and now the cannonball is going back to sender here because here comes Parasini down to the inside. Door tap down the back straightaway. Opens up a near 3 wide. Sean Bradley thinks better of it. Getting really feisty here very early in tonight's running of the Chicago Deep Dish Derby here tonight. And new leader, Parasini. And I think that 34, he may engage into Alicia Keys mode because I think he's going to keep on falling here with that big gap and lost it. You could already see he is starting to get loosey-goosey.
Yeah, where's the cheese? It's under the sauce. And where's Matthew Robinson? Well, he's about to be behind a lot of cars here as we go through. I have to make the Chicago pizza joke. Come on. I have to try it at least as we go through. Parasini's through. Parasini, I said it at the top of the broadcast. He's hungry for a win. He didn't win it all in Season 7. First time he hasn't won. 34 is wiggly. And look at Gresh trying to get a run there down low. Sean Bradley drops all the way down, goes through. And the ice cream sandwich down at the back. William Emmert is going to try to find a run with the 405 side by side. Robinson and Gresh. Gresh is going to try to get that 27-34 into the wall again. And who is that coming steaming through? That's our defending champion McClendon. Patience is paying a virtue here as he is going to get past the ice cream car.
I think Emmert may have slipped in some hot fudge there off turn 2. Let's take a look at that on PTR TV replay here. Just take a look. Woohoo! What a save there. That'll make that right rear tire highly unhappy. But, you know, he'll take that and rather still have the car to boot. But Kyle Gresh here in that number 27 automobile, he has closed in as well on the 34, and some company has been brought to his attention here. So a lot of battles up front. Parasini up by about a quarter of a second. Going a little bit further back, we have Affleck, Kevin Kane, and Dylan Freeman. No, that's Marty Rogers. Dylan Freeman is just behind That 37 going up. We're starting to have the comers and goers effects here. You can see on the ticker, I switched it over to lap times. Some guys in the 8s, some guys in the 31s. About probably a 3/4 time delta between all of our competitors.
I was waiting for either you or me one to make the Aflac joke. I'm glad you did. As we go through 34.51, Robinson McClendon keeping things together with Gresh following through at 34. Seems like he might have gathered it back up, Robinson, as we go through. Down on the low side, McClendon still wants the pass, still looking for something here side by side. This is the 3-car battle for P3 that you have on your screen right now as they go through. And you can see lap times, again, they're similar. William Emmert is still similar in the mix as well, but Keaton Crothers is faster than all of them, and so is Brad Kress. So I got to wonder, from one Brad to another, is a Brad going to make it up front? Eventually, they're going to try side by side. Look at that.
Yeah, this is just the name of the game, and that was what I had noticed driving in the Xfinity car here the other day. Is this? It became harder later in the run to make that pass. I had committed all the way to the bottom of the track. I saw guys making the top, but I couldn't make the top work as hard as I tried later in the race. So it's kind of what you set yourself up for in the beginning is kind of what you're stuck with at the end. Here's Jeff Slaughter and the Spider-Man mobile, getting Spider-Man and versus the Sponge. I don't think that movie would sell too many tickets, but you never quite know. They're having a battle, and who's that ahead? I have the Truex-esque automobile. Again, I don't know the numbers and names as well as Mr. Bradley does, but we have Davey Hendricks, and he is trying to pass Freeman. And then just behind that, the boss man, Al Corey, he is trying to join this battle for about 12th on back.
Yeah, and Al is the sleeper agent. Al is the sleeper. He's quiet, he's there, he runs, and then all of a sudden back into the race, he just runs it up front real quick. And somebody's been well off the track there. I don't know if you saw that as well as I did, but somebody's been way off down on the front stretch. So hopefully everybody's still running okay, doing okay. It seems like everyone's kept it on the track. Field's only separated by about 10 seconds or so right now for a majority of the pack. So I don't see anything too crazy running through as we continue around.
That line up there by Crothers there, there's a lot of things I don't understand, and we won't go into that rabbit hole of full life things that I don't understand, but I don't physically, from an iRacing perspective, don't understand how he is running that top groove in 3 and 4. I tried it a lot of different ways. I tried a lot of different strategies. I tried that strategy hitting the wall. It didn't work out for me either. But just how bumpy it is. Let's see if he'll do it while we're on board with him. Probably not, because no one ever does. There it goes. There's a bump. There's a bump. And if you even get higher up where that shadow is, the Larson line, there's speed up there. But it's so hard to find it as just bumpy and abrasive as this circuit is. And Ice Cream and Mikey still having a battle here, 5th and 6th up front.
As they run it through, wiggle there from the 405, another wiggle. I don't know how slippery that 405 is, but the advice is to keep your ice cream at 32 degrees or lower. Maybe not, whatever the temperature is here at Chicago as we continue through.
We never talked about the weather.
Yeah, we didn't, did we? I said that we were 2 hours later than expected. I didn't talk about it, though. 78-degree track, 71 air. I mean, seems comfortable, but clearly not what these guys were expecting coming in.
We are racing out of the actual race date. We are racing out of May 4th, which if you're watching this live, that's what it is. And this was 6:30 sim time, so I don't know if the lights will come on. They might come on, but it won't be dark out. But 120 laps, that'll probably take roughly 45 minutes. If this stays green, we will have one guaranteed caution, as we do now. So, but either way, the track temp will only go down. It will not go up. But I am surprised at how well that Robinson is hanging on there in the 34, as Emmert and Gresh nearly meet fenders there down the back. But by the looks of the 34 about 5 laps ago, you could see the bumps. How are they doing that? By how he was slowing down, we thought he'd probably be 10th by now, but he is hanging on pretty steadily there in the 3rd spot.
Just keeping things together, keeping things going and through, hanging on. I mean, right now that's the name of the game as we go through. And I know you don't know this league as well, Corey, but I'm going to tell you this right now, and then I'm going to make an assumption. So there is someone. Oh, never mind. I'm going to hold on because this is a gaggle of cars going through. 45, 7, 31, 37, 32. How many 30s can we put in the mix? Are we going to go 3 wide right here out of 4 on lap 30? Corey thought about it there. Coming through as the 31, the 7 keep things going. Ryan Hyatt, you doggone dog you. Hyatt is literally known as the Corgi. So, yes, I can call him a dog. It's fine. As he goes through, he's got that Geico car coming around, but he is really showing why he is known as the dog, battling things through, keeping things around.
Oh, and the wall,
really Freeman
scraped the wall by himself down the straightaway there. But again, they are just 2x2, and the tires are just grading. One thing to note as well, we talked about the 80% fuel load there in the opening. And we did get privy to some info that would estimate them in the pits around lap 45, which is not too far away. And you can just see these guys are all going to the top of the racetrack. But let's go as a reference right now, and we'll focus on our leader, who is already lapping some folks here, and someone who is disappearing in and out. But either way, I do want to bring up this graphic. You can see best lap about a 30 flat, so he's down about a second and a half. And when we covered, what did we cover the other day, Brad, that had really abrasive tire wear? I don't remember what it was. We covered something.
Was it Darlington last week?
Yeah, and there was so many strategy calls of overcuts, undercuts on the pits. You know, when to pit. You don't want to lose too much time on old tires. You don't want to, pit too late and not be able to use the tires, etc., etc. If we're going to stay green in the stage, so they shouldn't have to pit before the stage, but it'll present some interesting challenges in stage 2.
Yeah, and one of the things with triple bypass, they can run a full race green and never have a caution. I have seen them do it at super speedways. I've seen Talladega and Daytona go green without a single caution. It's doable in this league specifically. This is a league that takes the racing standard very high. Even though there is an iRacing cap, they still have a very high standard of racing that they bring in. And of course, they do penalize everything. And Dylan Freeman just has great music taste. I don't know what to tell you. Ira Levine, great taste in music. Good job. We'll see if he has great taste in getting a pass done, because he's in the back of just a really hard battle that is still going on lap after lap after lap after lap.
Now, this is the kind of battle that it's both fun and infuriating at the same time, because you can't go anywhere. You're stuck, and it's like, I just want to pass you. I know I'm faster than you, and you're just hoping for a little bit of a break. But the drivers won't give you a break, so they'll battle you side by side. You lose your tires, you lose your grip. But again, luckily in this instance, as I think Jeff Slaughter there, he's having some connectivity issues. But in this instance, again, we're racing to 45, and we were told they can make it to 45. So hopefully that was, I don't know if that estimate that we were given was a hard set estimate, or if that's like the max cap, or if there's a couple extra laps to spare. But I would imagine if it was a problem, guys would already be pitting.
Yeah, it's going to be real interesting to see. There has to be a little bit of fuel strategy coming in, as your Popeyes car is battling things out pretty hard there. Harcum and Gresh side by side. Will we get the chicken sandwich, or will we see some Napa know-how come in? I have the question, and it looks like the answer is the chicken sandwich prevails, at least for now there, with Harcum getting the run. Now we go through. Let's see. Getting real close on the bump into 3 and 4. Riding the high line, though, and again, you said that was not doable, but these guys are very clearly proving a point to prove you wrong, that the top line is runnable.
Well, it wasn't runnable in an Xfinity car with the iRacing stock setup, so maybe the next gen's a little bit easier. Maybe they softened that suspension up, got rid of some of the rebound. That's about as much mechanical knowledge as I know. But up front, this is one of those things where, actually, Sean Bradley, he is 2 laps down. I'm not sure why he's 2 laps down, but he is 2 laps down. I don't know if we missed something, Mr. Brad, but regarding our race sponsor here.
Sean Bradley has been in the pits. So is Swiss Helm. So we've had 2 cars in the pits.
Those numbers literally don't even make sense. So...
Is he the result of the lawn care down the main stretch?
Yeah, we're not too sure. I don't have any triggers of anything that has happened. Actually, I do have one back-end trigger here of something that we can entertain ourselves with. And Oh no, Chicagoland does this sometimes. My back-end telemetry software is telling me that there was a wreck, and it told me that Patrick Swisshelm wrecked, but he did not wreck. He exited the pits. So that's just software. So let's not worry about that. But let's get back to what I was talking about regarding Matt Parasini. And this is one of those situations, Brad, where we talk about it here on the channel all the time. We forget to talk about the leader when the leader is absolutely just doing a butt whooping right here. Because remember, he had to get the lead. It wasn't given to him. He didn't get the pole. And now in how many laps has he led? Let's check it out. He has led 24 laps, and he's pulled away by almost 3.5 seconds. That's something.
I told you he was on a mission. He's very clearly trying to prove the point. But here's the thing. After the stage break, he's got to hold on to it. And that'll be the easier thing said than done here is Gresh is battling it out with Harmon. Yet again, these two going side by side, bringing it through, keeping it around. Stage break just a couple laps away here, Corey. And then, you know what? During the stage break, we'll pull up Sean Bradley and I'll find out exactly what happened.
Yeah, we will certainly ask. I do know that the stage will come out at the start of 45. It does not come out on the completion of 45. So that will be something to acclimate ourselves to versus things that we have witnessed in the past. So that way we can accurately depict when that caution will fly. But this is the best battle on the track. You can see who is that in the back. That's Robinson, who has started to go back as we predicted. Now he's back to the 9th spot. I was just saying that I was shocked how well he was hanging on. Well, clearly that didn't last very long because there he goes. But best battle on the track now, Slaughter and Rogers. And Spider-Man has just hit that Brant wall down the backstretch where. And here comes the Bud Light car of Marty Rogers. He's going to do not quite a slide job, but he's going to drive it in deep, and he will make that pass as we are on lap 44. So this will be the white flag for the stage.
Yeah, Parasini bringing it throughout the backstretch. He's going to lose that 3.2 second gap, but I mean, that's a statement on the field. And I will say for Slaughter Racing Designs, he makes the paint schemes here. He's, of course, made the paint scheme for Parasini here in the Tennessee Storm Chaser number 24. Across the line, he will claim the stage win here as he is going to be very happy coming through. And there is your caution graphic, not the triple bypass banner, and caution on the field as the stage will come to a close.
Yep, Matt Parasini will get that stage victory here, and now we will coalesce with our friend, the iRacing safety car, the iRacing pace car. There was an F1 race on today, and I watched about 3 laps of it, so I got some of the verbiage stuck in my head. The safety car. But there will be no strategy call on this whatsoever. It will be 4 tires. It won't be 4 sets. It'll be 4 tires and fuel. That'll leave 2 sets in the pits, which I think we'll probably have 2 more pit stops. So they'll have to figure that one out the hard way. But here we go into the attention of the pit road here at Chicagoland Speedway. Very easy to do it under caution, not easy under green. But hopefully everyone has a nice smooth stop.
Yeah, as soon as Sean Bradley gets stopped, we'll pull him up. I don't want to disturb him while he's trying to get in to the pits here as we go down through the pit lane drone here and the pit lane cams. Parasini needs to have a very clean stop if he can. Comes through, gets things going. Everybody's getting in, getting stopped. Looking very good here. And, Robinson, yeah, missing it there. Everybody coming through. And tell you what, let's grab our race sponsor, Sean Bradley, and have a quick word with him. Sean, it is Brad and Corey up in the booth. You got a copy, sir?
I do have a copy. How you doing, boys?
Doing good. So first things first, how did you go 2 laps down? Because we missed it up here in the booth, but I want to know what happened to you.
I had a black screen, and I pressed Alt F4 repeatedly until I didn't have a black screen anymore, so that I didn't cause a caution.
Okay, I respect that. Very good call there. Next question. Why did you call it the Chicago Deep Dish Derby? What made you decide to call it the Chicago Deep Dish Derby?
To be completely honest, I asked Chat AI for some suggestions, and that one tickled my fancy.
Okay. Are you a big pizza fan?
Oh, yeah. Who isn't?
Okay, good. A good Chicago deep dish pizza. That's actually what I had for dinner. So I was feeling festive today. So, Sean, kind of talk me through what you're thinking for the season. Obviously, you're a couple laps down this race. Can you get those laps back? Do you think you're going to get back up front? Or is this going to be round one as a write-off and we're going to look at moving forward?
It really depends how the cautions lie. If there's going to be another one at the end of this run here. So if I can get back up there, then I'm going for it. But otherwise, yeah, this might be a write-off. But either way, I'm part-time this season. I'm not looking to do a full-time run, unless, of course, something goes my way, then maybe. But otherwise, it's just a play-as-we-go kind of thing.
I got you, Sean. Well, anyone you want to shout out or give a thanks to before we let you go? It looks like we're 1 to green this time by.
Yeah, shout out to the guys that run this thing, and of course Technicals for sponsoring the series, and you guys, I've heard you're doing a good job so far.
Awesome, man. Appreciate it, Sean. Good luck to the rest of the race. Take it easy.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
All right, that is Mr. Sean Bradley. A couple computer issues seeming to be the name of the game here at Chicago. I think that's probably the second one that we've had thus far. Hopefully that trend does not continue. We know that is the equivalent of an engine blown here or a tire going down, hardware failures here in the virtual world. But the iRacing insert sedan here pace car is going to take the hard left turn into the pits. Parasini will get stage 2 going underway here on the loud pedal in the restart box. Look at the jump he gets on the rest of the field as we dive off into turn 1.
I hope Parasini didn't jump the start. It didn't look like it, at least. I think McClendon was just sleeping there as we go through, coming around, bringing the field through. And look at this. We're going to go not quite 3 wide, but almost 3 wide as that Popeyes car has decided he wants to be up near the front with McClendon, the defending champion, there in second. Back and forth, Kress and Davey Hendricks going side by side as they come through. Everybody keeping it together, and well, there's 3 wide in the mid pack there, Corey.
Yeah, some good racing there as everyone's going to try to take advantage of those fresh tires and try to get what they can while the grip is there. If you like cameras, we are using our Whiplash sim cams, some of the cool views that we are using here today. Take a look at the description if you are interested in that. But you can see some good racing going on. First and second have kind of separated from the bunch. McClendon leading the charge there in third, and then here they spread out. We see Ice Cream at the top. That's Emmert to the top of the racetrack. Who is that behind him? I think that is someone we haven't spoke of, Elton Wu, in the Home Depot car. He is throwing his hat into the ring here on the bottom of the racetrack. Robinson trying to recover from falling back in the race. He's going to look in the middle, perhaps, in the 34.
34, thinking about making things interesting, 3 wide. You heard Sean Bradley there during the stage say it depends on how the cautions lie. So he's got fingers crossed for a caution. Of course, Lucky Dog and waiver rounds are on here, so he's going to be looking for something. The Series 5 Gen 4 champion here, Brad Kress, looking comfortable in that Valvoline car, bringing things through and trying to just bring the fight to Kyle Gresh if it's possible. Hold on to a top 5 for the day. That'd be a good result here. As lap 51 is now on the board, still battling things through, and Affleck hits the wall.
I think more than just Affleck hit the wall. I think maybe it was Wu as well. They're off of turn number 2, but saw some smoke. Everyone does continue on well and dandy for the moment. Just going to scroll through the field and try to get everybody their little time in the sun. Cameron Kane in the 37 car battling with Jeff Slaughter in the 88. And going to leaving further back, Michael Seymour in the 87, Jason Benson in the 42, John Crutchley there in that number 48, going all the way through the back. You can see the multi-lane racing going on here. Still have 27 cars on the lead lap, final of them being John Campbell.
Yeah, JC John Campbell there in the 117, the Krispy Kreme car, the Dunkin' car, the Starbucks car, whatever you want to call it. I never really know what the answer is for what car he's running. It is, of course, Krispy Kreme. But as I said earlier, Howie, of course, thought it was a Dunkin' car for the longest time and always called it a Dunkin' car. So that kind of stuck and will stick through. Nevertheless, Popeyes is up front, getting ran by that 56 of not Truex, but Davey Hendricks gets the run down low on Harcum, gets the pass done, and ice cream for William Emmert, who is trying to get another charge forward.
Yeah, he is in that ice cream car. He is going to go all the way to the top of the racetrack and try to get that momentum built up here. We'll bring up our battle graphic. You can see that gap in the middle going down. That's the run off the top, but he has to stagnate it. He falls back, and now he's going to run right up back to the top again. You can see the gap falls down through the entry of the corner, and then if you execute it properly, which he didn't, it'll come down as you get off the corner, but hitting the wall there certainly hurt that cause out, and that opened the door for, is that Matt Harmon? Yes, it is, and that number 28, he's going to dive it on down to the bottom of the racetrack. Will he clear? He will not. And again, that's just kind of how Chicago is. It's easy to get side by side, but it's hard to complete the pass.
I can say that again as they go through. They continue. Why do I do that every time? I know where that's going to go, of course. Corey, the king of dad jokes here. So I'm just, not surprised. Anyways, back to on-track action. Davey Hendricks now running low there on Brad Kress. Gets the pass done and dusted up into fourth place. Now, Davey Hendricks might be on a run as they're trying to go 3 wide behind him there. We're going to have Ice Cream Chicken, and I'm not sure who the third car is in there.
I think that was a Ludacris album. No, that was Watermelon Chicken and Beer. Maybe someone will take that to heart, and that'll be a paint scheme next week. But that's Keaton Crothers in the 809. He's trying to figure out where to go. Again, you're stuck behind a side-by-side. Everything in your racer brain says, let me go 3 wide. And you just try to think better of it. But not to be frank, I know that's what you like to be called, Brad, but look at this gaggle, and I do have permission from Matt Malone to say that. I used to cover him on the channel here. Dylan Freeman, Jason Benson, John Crutchley, Derek Catt, all of these drivers just side by side, 3 wide, and this is a little nerve-wracking.
If you're Sean Bradley right now, and Sean Bradley said depends on how the cautions lie, he is watching that pack of cars and saying, you know what, if there's a caution to come, it's going to be this group, so let's just watch, see how they go. Nobody ever wants to see someone wreck, but doggone if they don't want to see a good battle happen, and if a caution happens to swing his way, he'll be okay with it here. That is not a commentator's curse if it happens. I'm just speaking facts on events here. Parasini now holding off McClendon, holding off Gresh, and Davey Hendricks is going to be trying to come for company as well as McClendon and Gresh keeping it there, and Parasini trying to just, I think, keep the tires under him here. We are on the run for potential green flag stops. They stopped 45. We know 45 laps, so lap 90 is 85 to 90-ish, maybe 95 is when we're expecting the next set of pit stops here, unless there's a caution. So we are looking for that sort of pit stop window to open up here around lap 75. So they got to survive until then.
Yeah, they got to survive until then, and as we were saying earlier, the pit strategy with the tires, when to come early, when to come late, that'll all certainly make things interesting here. But I thought that McClendon was going to make a battle for the lead attempt there, going to the top of the track. The top didn't work in 1 and 2, opens the door for Gresh. Gresh will clear, and now here comes Davey Hendricks to clear. So McClendon goes from making a chance for the lead, making a bid for the lead, to falling back 2 positions, maybe 3, because Brad Kress is throwing his hat into the ring here. The Valvoline automobile trying to come on into the picture here in that 5th spot. All the while, Parasini is trying to do that fine balance of saving the tires and staying up front.
And as they take things through and around, just got to hold on to it, and you've got to just keep it going. Parasini hasn't been able to pull near as much of a gap as he did before as we go through that. Ice Cream car is still running the high line, holding on there, as the Home Depot car is going to come down low. A little bit close there for a tap as we've officially crossed halfway race distance. It is now the final countdown to the end of this Season 8 opener as we go. And that 34, Matthew Robinson down low there with Harmon up high. He's got to hold on to it. They keep things close. And now the 34 might be dropping back yet again. He might be able to make down low work if he tries.
I found a lot of luck making the bottom work in 3 and 4, more so than doing it on the other side of the track here in 1 and 2. I found the top of the track to be kind of OP, as I think they say these days, overpowering. But take that as what it is. I am not a Pro Series driver by any stretch of the imagination, but big wiggle from Robinson. And now here comes Wu. He's going to go down to the bottom. We're going to go 3 wide for a brief moment, back down to 2, maybe 3 if the 34 tries to dive the middle, but he will not. Wu's going to go Bob's your uncle, try to go 2 for 1 here. But Ice Cream says, no, I'm going to try to get that run, and he will re-clear to the outside. Robinson says, no, I got the side draft, I got the run, but he'll decide to be a little cautious with it. And we have missed all the while a battle and a pass for the race lead.
Gresh just kind of said in the mix of all of that, woo, I go through, and here's how this happened. Parasini, Gresh.
Oh, look at that wiggle.
How did Parasini gather that up?
Yeah,
How did he gather that up?
He hit the apron there and just sent him all around and squirrely, hitting that paint. Sometimes the paint gives you grip, sometimes it taketh, and certainly taketh there. So now he is going to have to get back on the saddle and try to get that spot back, but now he's lost the clean air, similar to Kyle Larson here today. In the real world, once you lose control of the race, you're back in dirty air. Similar to playing Mario Kart. Now you're in the back, so now you're getting the turtle shells, you're getting the banana peels, the bullet bills, but when you're up front, sometimes it's a lot cleaner up there.
Yeah, and I think here's going to be the problem for Parasini is that's going to throw him off the rhythm. He was very comfortable, very set, just hitting his marks and going, and now he's went from just
look at that wiggle.
Another big wiggle. Everyone's getting loose here. 3 wide coming off a 2. The 56 of Davey Hendricks, a 2-time race winner last season, taps the wall there. Now look at this. Parasini sends it back low. The defending champion is up high. Top 5 are really taking things out. Meanwhile, Kyle Gresh says, you know what? You 4 just caused a mess of this. I'm just going to take off. I'm done. I'm over it. Bye-bye.
Yeah, Parasini just made that right rear tire done mad. And that right rear tire is not coming back. That's usually what happens here on iRacing. Once you get the tire mad, it might cool off, but it'll never go back to where it was. And maybe he can drive through it, find a new strategy to make that handle and come where he wants it. But currently now in 5th, going for 4th underneath Brad Kress here. You see the 56 trying to find a new line. He really cut to the bottom there, but now McClendon, we talked about him going for the lead. Drop back to 5th or 6th. Didn't quite work out for him. Well, now he's going to try to go for the lead now, but Gresh has gained a 1 second lead over the field. Mikey getting a 1 second lead on a track that doesn't have a plate on it. That's just unfathomable.
So here's a fun little stat for you from last season. I'm going to name off the tracks that Steve McClendon won at. Richmond Raceway, Pocono, and iRacing Super Speedway. I have a feeling that McClendon is one to watch tonight here as we go through. And Davey Hendricks also is going to be one to watch at because Davey won at Miami and won at Auto Club. So if you kind of go off of the stats, they can win at some pretty varied tracks and do things pretty well. So I think those 2 are ones to watch. Parasini, again, didn't win it all last season for the first time. He's just hungry, looking for a win. And then Kyle Gresh, I know Kyle Gresh knows how to race. So if Kyle Gresh can hold on to a gap through a pit stop cycle, that'll be the big thing here. Lap 69 across the line, going into 70. And, well, Parasini, I think, has thrown the parachute here. Or, I'll let you finish the sentence, Corey, has engaged Alicia Keys mode.
He keeps on falling, but he's going back to 3rd. I might build that into a graphic one of these days. But you can see 24 laps on the current stint now, and just because I don't want to forget, let's just do, as we are slightly past the halfway point, let's just do a very brief Through the Field, brought to you by... we don't have a sponsor for it, but maybe one day. Currently leading that pitcher. That's just I'm just gonna call Kyle that pitcher Gresh. That's my nickname. I don't care what it is. That's my nickname. He is the leader now. Steve McClendon in the 2nd spot. Currently in 3rd is Davey Hendricks and Brad Kress. I always want to call him Nathan Kress for some reason from iCarly, so I have to keep saying Brad. He is in 3rd, 4th, and 5th. One of the spots. Parasini is going to be in whatever position he's not in. Ben Harcum going to be in the 6th spot. Keaton Crothers in 7th. Matt Harmon is currently in 8th. Elton Wu in 9th. And then Matt Robinson from the pole back to 10th there, Brad.
Yeah, and going from there, we're going to go P11. Cameron Kane, Aflac, your insurance rates are going to go well up, buddy, because that's going to let through Freeman and Corey. Dylan Freeman just going to run away with that one. Al Corey, of course, going through. And Dylan Freeman started 21st, currently 11th. Not bad. Moving on from there, we're going to go Jason Benson is the next driver moving through. Then it's Marty Rogers, and started 12th, currently 15th. He's down the field a little bit. And then another big old gaggle of cars coming through. Michael Seymour in the 87, up 16 places on the day. Derek Catt, the SpongeBob car. And then, of course, Ice Cream is melting his way down the field. Jeff Slaughter Designs down into 19th. He's dropping down. Spider-Man not having a good day. And then Josh Corner in 20th.
I chose to do this because they were settling out, and I'm like, let's do it. And then they all just go absolutely nuts because I try to do it through the field. John Crutchley in 21st. Jared Jackson in the 22nd car. He's driving a Lexus. How'd that get permissed into the field here? Ryan Hyatt in 24th with Tex, our sponsor here with AMSOIL, in 25th. The Krispy Kreme automobile of John Campbell, in 26th. Sean Bradley, that Alt F4, has him 27th. Still waiting for the free pass if we can get a caution. Patrick Swisshelm there in the Wiener Schnitzel car. And then Nick Jones on track 29th. Cooper, Barton, and Voss all since retired from the event. And I will tell you, Mikey's doing Mikey things, and that's losing a lead. Of course, relating to the real world. I don't know him in the sim yet. But he is down to 3/10 from what was about a second.
Yeah, and we'll see how that goes. I wonder if that's a little bit of saving tire, because looking at times, I mean, he's not bad on pace right now going through. I mean, Brad Kress is faster than him right now. McClendon is running very similar.
Oh!
So, I don't like what you just cut back to. No, Parasini, come on, watch out as he goes through with Davey Hendricks and Elton Wu going through. Oh, there's a wiggle. There's 3 wide. Elton Wu puts that Home Depot car into the wall, and I wonder if Home Depot can help him knock that out as they go through. And all the while, Keaton Crothers staying well out of the way of this.
Yeah, they were 3 wide. Elton Wu scraping the fence there in that number 5 car. He will fall on back. Robinson still in 10th, hasn't recovered at all since his pit stop. Well, rather his just faux pas falling through the field. But 809 of Crothers, maybe he'll hit the fence. And now Davey Hendricks taking a look to the inside, maybe taking a send to the inside of Parasini there, but he will have to fall back in line. Parasini using that middle groove successfully there. Popeye is just ahead of the battle here. Ben Harcum. And this is all about 2.5 seconds off the lead, but our lead battle is hot and heavy now. McClendon, and not just McClendon, Brad Kress. We get a trio for the lead as McClendon hits the fence.
Yeah, very clearly the car handling is just getting loose on the long run here as they continue along. McClendon with that tap to the wall. Now Brad Kress is going to try to run it inside here. Can he get the pass done? And, well, we got more 3-wide action behind him, but it's a 3-car battle for the lead as they go through. Kress loses a little bit of pace there. Now McClendon's going to just really stick right to the tire of Gresh and try to find a way through. McClendon now running high. Gresh is going to hold it low. And can Kyle Gresh get a win here? He certainly would be happy with it. Usually, Kyle Gresh is a good road course person. Again, he runs a lot of IndyCar, but he's always a really strong road course driver in my experience. So we'll see here if Kyle Gresh can find something. And he is, of course, you know, sexy wall trip going through. You can literally see it on the side of his car. But right now, I don't know if he's going to hold the lead much longer here as we're 40 laps to go in this race.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. The pit window is open now. 40 laps to go. Remember, they do have 2 more sets of Goodyears to their avail in the pit, so they will put that on. And one thing I didn't really talk about in our pre-race or our opening at all is that the Chicagoland Speedway, not a easy track whatsoever to enter under green flag conditions. So hopefully these guys practice that very, very hard, pulling that hard left off of turn 4 down on the flat. So hopefully they got that practice. A lot of time to be had, a lot of time to be lost there. But I'll tell you, that 9 has that top work, and look at the run he's going to get. If he can keep it off the fence, he's going to get right to the back bumper of the 51. But he backed off, and now he's going to try to rip the wall again, using that aero effects there to keep that thing planted. No, he's going to run a little bit low, a little more conservative. And let's see what happens if he can get a run, and he will. What will he do with it?
He's going to have the run here holding on, but the run stalls as the 27 goes up, defends, but McClendon down low is really the big problem right now for Gresh, as he has to kind of pick who he's going to battle. Is he going to battle McClendon? Is he going to battle Cress? Who's the best one to run? As he gets a big wiggle there off of 2, and that should open the door for McClendon to get by, but it doesn't. McClendon still not able to cement this pass through, going off of 3, coming through 4, coming around and keeping the battle going. No, Kyle Gresh somehow, by all sorts of miracles, I don't know if you want to call it a Christmas miracle, a birthday miracle, a lucky round 1 miracle, holds on to it, and McClendon still showing in second by maybe a paper width.
Oh, here goes Brad Kress to try to put the turkey in the sandwich there. Maybe go 3 wide. Well, not quite 3 wide. McClendon a little bit further up. All the while, this is allowing Parasini to gain time. Last time by, he was 0.4 of a second faster than these guys, going absolutely ape wire for the lead. They ran 31.6s. Parasini a 31.2. So that really shows that side by side certainly slows things down. And now Parasini 0.8 of a second. All the while, maybe his tires are better now with all this hardcore racing. Maybe these guys are using their tires up, and Parasini might have a second life.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Parasini was okay with dropping back here because it lets him save a little bit. Of course, we went lap 45. We're 5 laps from that magic 45 lap number of where we would expect them to have to pit. So the pay window is open. The pit window is open. The pay window is open. And I'm looking to see if anyone has cashed in that second pit stop yet. Ryan Hyatt has, Jared Jackson has, Matthew Robinson has, Sean Bradley, of course, has had his 1 pit stop. I don't see anyone else stopping yet going through, so nobody has decided to pay in on that second pit stop yet, but they've got 5 laps to figure it out. Otherwise, they might be out of fuel.
Oh, here comes McClendon.
Real loose. No, he's in. Yep. Okay.
And McClendon, there's Parasini. There is Hendricks. Here's Crothers. All coming down to the attention of their crew here. And here at Chicagoland, lap 35, losing 1.5 seconds per lap. They have to come this time by. They got about 5 more laps to play with. But we always say, do you want to be the chaser or do you want to be the chasee? And I'd always want to be the chaser. Well, to an extent. But this time by, Gresh is going to remain on the track. And same can't be said for Cress. Cress will come down.
Yeah, Chris opting to go in there. Good decision. And man, you can tell just how hard that coming off of turn 4 into the pits is, as here's McClendon coming out. But yeah, I totally thought there was a wreck happening when McClendon was coming in. I forgot just how rough it is to pit under green here around Chicagoland. But very clearly able to get that through and around. And SpongeBob.
All right, can I do it, Brad?
Yes.
There we go. It's not as good as it usually is. There we go. I thought it was pretty good. I thought that was a pretty good SpongeBob impression, Brad.
His sexy wall tripping instrument, Corey.
I just want to play my clarinet. So, all right. That's all I could do. I used to be able to do a Mr. Krabs, but those days have completed themselves. Wu is in the pits, getting his 4 sets of... Why do I keep saying 4 sets of tires? I mean, I'm sure these guys would appreciate 16 fresh tires on, but that's not going to be the case. But Gresh is doing something. You know, we always do this, Brad. We question the strategy of guys who have more talent than us. He's staying out.
It's what we're paid for.
Yeah, he's staying out probably, what is this, an extra 4 or 5 laps in relation to Parasini, McClendon, and company. So that is, what, 1.5 seconds a lap? So that's 1.3. That's 3 seconds. Now he's on 4.5 seconds. If he stays out again, that's 6 seconds. And with every lap that ticks by, you have less and less laps to use those tires to close in.
I'm going to counter really quick. Is he expecting another caution to come up? As more cars are in, more pit stops are happening. Here comes SpongeBob to get that Camry repaired from his little wall tap. I don't see too much damage on that car, but is he expecting a caution here under green flag conditions with these green flag pit stops happening? He may be thinking that somebody is going to bin it trying to get into the pits.
It's on his sticker, too. Look at there on his driver's sticker on the dash.
This is his brand. His YouTube is literally youtube.com/sexywalltrip.
When I walk in the club, this is what I see. I got a Mikey in my No, I can't make that work. That Sexy and I Know It song. I was trying to tie it into Wall Trip on the fly. Couldn't do it, but he's staying out. He's all the way at the top, so he's committed one more lap. Now let's reference McClendon. McClendon is coming off of 4 here, and he is in lead lap. He's in lucky dog position, so he's about 1 1/4 laps behind. You can see this is our leader, and that blue car is McClendon.
Yeah, so Gresh needs to pit. I mean, he's losing tons of time. Is he slowing down there to get into the pits here as McClendon comes through?
So 37 seconds. Nope. So you lose from cone to cone. This is a stat we use here on PTR TV quite frequently as Crutchley in the Stay Puffed car. The lane time from cone to cone, which I have that cone to that cone, that's about 38 seconds. Now, you do have to navigate down the pits on the access road on the apron through 1 and 2. So you probably lose 42, 43 seconds pitting here under green. McClendon's on the lead lap. Gresh is going to be at minimum, if he pits this next time by, he's going to be at minimum 10 seconds off the lead. But
he is going to have fresher tires that he can run to the end. So maybe he is really counting on the undercut being more powerful.
But, he's only going to have about 25 laps to use them. So
what's the pace fall off already for McClendon? Let's look at that. Where is this at?
Now, here he comes. Here he comes.
Oh, get it woed up there, Kyle. Come on now. Good job getting it woed up. Now, here's the thing. I'm looking at this drop-off already for McClendon. McClendon has already dropped about 1/4 of a second in pace from when he stopped, and he's only been out for about 8 laps. I'm doing rough mental math. If you were a math teacher for me, you don't want to know this, and you don't want to judge me for this. I think Gresh might have made a decent strategy call there. I think if Gresh can actually work his way through and not have a big gaggle in traffic, I think he'll be okay. I think he at least can come out top 3.
Now let's just, I do have a graphic for this. So this is the live telemetry. You can just see that leader gap, 9. I estimated 10, but now it's still only going up. It's still only going up, and now he's just getting up to speed now, so he's probably not going to get up to speed until about now, maybe entering 3. So now he has to gain roughly 12.5 seconds in 25 laps. And this is going to be, he has to get the biggest chunks he can get right now, because as each lap goes by, they will sort of kind of stabilize out. He won't gain as much per lap as each lap progresses, but that is a hard task to gain 12.5 seconds. That's basically a half second a lap, just doing rudimentary math.
Yeah, he might have thrown that one away then. If he's got to get a half second a lap, that's a lot.
That flipped pretty quick. Oh, he's got it. He made a good call.
Well, when you say make up half a second a lap, I mean, that's a substantial ask here around Chicago. Like, that's a lot here on the Deep Dish Derby. I mean, ask me to eat about 5 slices of deep dish pizza. I can do that. Tell me to make up half a second a lap on the track. Well, did I eat the pizza first or not? Because that kind of affects things.
Yeah, I can't eat that much pizza. I mean, I ate a Biggie bag, and then I got an extra chicken sandwich, and then I got a Frosty, and that had me filled, but then I still ate a snack when I got home, and I wonder why I'm overweight. So, anywho, McClendon did the best job there on the pit stop. Let's just bring up that graphic one more time. 14.4, 37 second lane time. Actually, Hendrick basically dead spot on. Parasini about a second slower through the pits. That obviously doesn't help things out. But again, that doesn't account for running on the apron in 1 and 2, which that is skill, running on that marbly apron. Obviously, that hasn't been run on all race. But now we're closing in on the century mark. It'll be lap 100 for Steve McClendon with a 2-second lead. And just to make things interesting, that 12.5 second lead, now he's only gained about 1 second in 4 laps. So he's passing the Popeyes car, and I think Popeyes sells toast, because I think he very much may be toast right now.
Yeah, we'll see if that sexy wall trip car can make a stop to Napa Auto Parts. Maybe get a little bit more pace out of that car in the final 20 laps. We'll find out what happens here as Stephen McClendon, defending Season 7 champion, looks like he's going to be submitting Season 8 with a very good run here. But Davey Hendricks is going to try to give him a run for his money. And Parasini again is hungry. Elton Wu, Keaton Crothers, they're battling it out a little bit there for P4. We'll see how that battle goes because they've got Brad Kress as well. And here's the thing, we're now officially into 20 to go. This is where gloves come off, Corey. This is where drivers are going to start being willing to risk it a little bit more, race a little bit harder. But of course, remember, any incidents that happen, it's reviewed post-race by admin, and if a penalty is valid, they are given a penalty in the next race. So depending on what happens for them, if they do something wrong, admin's going to absolutely slap the book at them for the next race.
Yep, as they always said back in the Winston Cup era, head to the big red truck. Obviously Bypass has their own verbiage for what the truck entails, but you don't want to go there if you can avoid it. And again, if you like what you see here and you're watching, well, if you weren't watching you wouldn't know that I said that, but make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff if you are new to the channel here, because you are new to this series or new to following the channel over here. Just help us out. We're on our mission to 1,700 subscribers, and we can use a little help from you. If you like what you see, we'll be back next week at the Dover Motor Speedway, the Monster Mile. Track has been visually updated, so obviously it looks really good here on broadcast. So looking forward to that and all the other content that we have to offer here on the channel. But here comes Parasini looking for that second spot, all the while about 2 seconds behind the lead, and very little contest there. At least it looks very little contest. I don't think he's given up though, but ultimately Parasini will clear for the second spot.
Yeah, Parasini is now cleared. Gap is closing to McClendon, or at least it was. It opened a little bit there. Now it's closing yet again. So watch McClendon. I don't think this win is as secure for him as he wants it to be, as well, this ice cream is trying not to melt. SpongeBob, did he make a run for an ice cream sundae? Because he's certainly trying to make a run forward here, Derek Cat is, as he is fighting around. 31 drops real low.
Yeah, Derek didn't fill out the spreadsheet, or it's glitched, one of the two of them, but either way, the 405 William Emert. I keep saying Emert, I don't know which one it actually is, probably Emert. Oh, the sponge slipped in some Krabby Patty sauce there off of turn number 2, really loose down to the inside. That won't help cause us out. And just to get back to our Kyle Gresh battle for the win, drama point here. He has gained 4 seconds. And as a reference, his last lap time around this speedway, he was at a 30.2. He was 0.8 of a second faster than McClendon. We'll put it on the ticker so that you guys can easily see it at home. McClendon at a 31 flat and another 0.7. So maybe, just maybe, we're going to take that piece of toast. We're going to pop it out of the toaster. We're going to get a butter knife. And then we got to scrape all that toasty off, because maybe, just maybe, he might turn into bread again.
Your Jersey accent just came out there. I'd like you to be aware.
I'm from New England, so I don't even know where I would get a New Jersey accent, as Al Corey and Cameron Kane nearly made some pancakes there off turn number 2, and neither of them are sponsored by IHOP. I know Canadian Tire sells a lot. I know you could buy a Blackstone griddle, so perhaps you could get a pancake from Canadian Tire, but I don't think they sell the mix for that, unless they sell it in those little camping, emergency meals. But either way, that's Al Corey in the 15th spot, Jarrett Jackson ahead, and then Dylan Freeman behind.
Yeah, Affleck car there. Definitely the insurance rates have gone up because he is pretty well stuck in position as he goes. Here's the 5 of Elton Wu, still trying to chase down Keaton Crothers to get a run. He's got him there. Mind the front bumper to the rear. Oh, they couldn't have been much closer there as Tex Nichols is up on the high side there in that number 63 wide. 60 is not for position. They're going to get a little bit together, though, and that 809 is going to drop back. Elton Wu will be sounding like Ric Flair going, woo, getting that pass done, going through. And now that's going to open up the door. Brad Kress trying to get the pass on Crothers, gets the pass, and
looky.
There's Kyle Gresh.
All right.
Oh.
And whoa, that's what got Parasini a few times. That paint down there, it looks like it's raining in it, the way that paint feels. It's super slick. Let's go 3 wide to the bottom. Crothers got loose. Kress got bogged down via the side draft, and goes Bob, your uncle, and Gresh will go 2 for 1. He'll close in on that Home Depot car, and let's just go check out our live intervals once more. He's gained 7/10, and he's still gaining 6/10 a lap. Just do math. 6/10 into 5 seconds and 10 laps. Someone math for me and tell me if that works out.
It's going to be close. That's all I'm going to say. Because here's the thing. That was him getting past 2 cars in 1 lap and still gaining 6/10. So, I mean, I don't know. Someone do the math on it because I'm a commentator. I am not a mathematician.
Time by 31.3 for the leader. So that was 7/10. So he's 7/10.
He's on pace.
7/10. 0.7 times 10 is not 7 seconds. Or is it? No.
Yeah, just move the 0. It'd be 7 seconds.
So if he keeps up that, he'll actually win the race by 3 seconds. But
here's the problem. He's got to get past Parasini, and that's going to be the big hurdle. Parasini doesn't want to give up a P3, so I think Parasini is going to be his biggest challenge yet. It's just a matter of
5
does he have enough
tenths that
tire
last
under
lap.
him.
So 5/10 times 9, that's 4.5 seconds. That means he wins the race by 3/4 of a second if he can keep that half second of pace up. But as you said, he has to get by Parasini, which he's gonna make like 2 trailer park girls and try to go around the outside. But Parasini playing the defense of the 2004 Detroit Pistons, and he is not letting him by. He's making that car act like a Pontiac and making it nice and wide. And all the while, that's just cutting into the opportunity that 27 is going to have. But now it'll be insurmountable. He is side by side, but still one more notch in the belt, and that is going to be Davey Hendricks up there about a second and a half off yonder.
Davey Hendricks also a real fast car here, but Parasini putting in the fight. I think Gresh might have used the best of his tires here, as Gresh has to go very defensive down the inside here, as Elton Wu is now going to give Parasini a run. Gresh clears very high there, holding on. Parasini's going to fight it back down the inside. He said, no, I'm not giving up my top 3. I'm going to fight this one on and go through. And
whoa!
Big wiggle. Parasini drops way low. That is probably that fight done and dusted and over.
Yeah, that was just a Herculean wiggle there by Parasini, and we haven't done this yet, but let's give him a award that we offer here on PTR TV.
How did you save that car? Well, I'm just so daggone good.
The Ricky Rudd Save of the Race Award, and she's trying to back it up with another one here, as he is just super loose there, Matt Parasini. And that wasn't the first time. That's about the 4th time I think that's happened to him. But all the while, Gresh has pulled away by about a second on them. Hendricks is, I think he was about 2 seconds back. It's down to 1.5 seconds. And I'll tell you, last time by, McClendon put out the parachute. He was 3/10 slower than even Davey Hendricks, 4/10 slower than Gresh, and 4/10, 5 laps, that's 2 seconds. So now it's not even mathematically possible. If he's only 4/10 faster, he's still losing this thing by about a half a second.
Parasini's now been passed by Alton Wu. Brad Kress also still trying to get past there. So I know he's running the Tennessee Storm Chaser car, and there's a tornado on the front, but I think Parasini might be the tornado on the day. That car has been every way, sideways, backwards, forwards. He's holding on, though, doing a good job. And McClendon gap 1.3 dropping down. So either Hendricks is sped up or McClendon is slowed way down. And, well, there's your lap times. I mean, identical almost to the 1,000th of a second there as they come through. Gap 1.2. Now he's catching lap traffic. So is that causing the problem? Caution on the field. No.
I know in many areas it was warm today, but that's not the kind of T-bone that I think they were looking for.
Oh my gosh. What has happened here? So this is the 87 and the 60. So Tex up high there, and 87 just drifts up.
Or let's just get a slightly more top-down perspective slightly if we can. No, I got a better camera. I got the perfect camera, the perfect one. No, that's not the perfect one. Still getting used to these Whiplash sim cams, folks. They are really good cameras, but they take a little bit of getting used to if you've never used them before. So.
All right, so watch them coming off of 2.
No,
And
I'm going to say text came down that time. I know you said the other. I think you said the inverse, but that camera kind of
Did
showed
you
a little
save
bit.
that car?
So take your pick
I'm
there.
just so
We're not
daggone
having
good.
Ricky letting you go away. We're not talking about you now, but we're talking about these guys in the pits right now, and it's going to be money stop. Is anybody going to be crazy enough to take 2 tires? I hope
Gresh.
not.
If anyone's going to do it, it'd be Gresh or Persini.
Jared
Yep,
Jackson.
Gresh, 2 tires. Called it.
Jared Jackson stayed on the track. So this is
Was
going to...
Jared a lap down, or was he on the lead lap?
Oh, he's leading the race right now.
All right. Well, yeah, we need that Alicia Keys graphic because, or actually, I mean, at this point, you might as well just tie cinder blocks to the back of this car because he's going to be dropping hard once that green flag hits.
We did ask Al Rafter Corey in our pre-race how many green-white checkers there are, and he said he thought there were 2, and then he retracted that and said he thinks it's unlimited. So we are going to use that information and just run with it because we don't really know what the answer is here. But just given these circumstances, again, I'll pull out the graphic one more time. Jared Jackson, that 15 seconds is from his prior pit stop, not from the current one. But there you can see Gresh with 2. You can see Parasini with 2. You can see Hyatt with 2. Harcum, Al Corey. All of those drivers making those strategy calls. And I think we had run roughly 25 laps or so for most of these guys. So those left sides ain't going to be feeling too happy there, Brad.
And no, this is going to be a rough one to the end here for everyone. This is going to be interesting. I don't know how this is going to go as the 42 is now dropping on back. Bye-bye, friend, as we go. Gresh took 2 tires. Oh, man, I'm very much... Jackson, I don't think Jackson can hold this on to the end for this green-white checkered. I don't think Jackson has it. And by golly, if he can put on a defense masterclass, I will eat those words.
He won't even have the lead through the center of 1 and 2. I will bet you every dollar that... Oh, I won't because I'm cheap and I don't want to lose money, but I will bet you a PTR TV digital sticker that he won't have the lead off of the center of 1 and 2, but maybe, just maybe, he'll prove me wrong here. But then going to the second caution of the race here for Cause, and it's going to put us into unsponsored overtime here in the triple bypass Chicago deep dish derby. On the loud pedal, he's going to give him every benefit that he can get. Jared Jackson's going to get on the loud pedal early, but now he has to turn, and this is where the problems will arise.
This is where things get interesting because here's the thing. McClendon, Kress, Crothers took 4 tires. Everybody in front of them took 2 except for Jackson, who took none. And, well, there's the difference in tires as they come through 3. Are they going to take it 4 wide? McClendon knows he has pace. And remember, if they get to the white, they get to the end. Jackson all the way up into the wall. He's gone. Send it through. Kyle Gresh in the lead. Hendricks, McClendon, Parasini, Kress, Crothers, top 6. I think anyone has a chance here. But as we go 2 to go across the line, hold on to it. White flag out.
And Steve McClendon has the 4 tires. He's in third. 2 tires are in first and second, and they both hit the wall. You'd think it was raining over there. But Kyle Gresh, he had a very fast car. We questioned him on the strategy, and the strategy wasn't going to work the way he intended, so he pulled an audible, and he did another strategy, and that saved his hat. That saved his race. Gresh wins the dirt derby, the deep dish derby. That may as well bet on dirt by how that last lap went.
Yeah, everybody very clearly getting the wiggles out there going through. Big shout out to Davey Hendricks in second. Steve McClendon, those 4 tires. I think if they hadn't have had that little run with Jared Jackson, I think they could have had a bit more of a run for the win. And then Parasini in 4th. Kress finds 5th. Jared Jackson, for those of you curious, dropped all the way to 12th on that final lap.
All right, and we'll go over our post-race in just a jiffy, but we'll see what a sexy Mikey, I'll have to get used to that, what he'll do to celebrate here. Again, he had the race won, sort of, and then we thought he gave it away, And then he found a way to win it again. So all in all, a great job here done at Chicagoland for the bypass guys. A great opening showing here to the race. And looking at the clock, looks like we have to start our post-race show urgently here this evening. Our race results here are as follows. Gresh getting the win by 0.2 of a second. Davey Hendricks in second. McClendon in third. Matt Parasini in fourth. Kress in fifth. Ben Harcum, Keaton Crothers, Matt Robinson, Matt Harmon, and then Ryan Hyatt running out our top 10.
From there we go, P11, it's Al Corey, Jared Jackson in 12, Joshua Corner, 13, Elton Woo, 14th place, Slaughter in 15th, Cameron Kane, Marty Rogers, Sean Bradley, William Emmert. We talked about that ice cream car a lot. He melted back to 19th, and Dylan Freeman in 20th.
Next page of results, The Sponge, Derek Catt in 21st, Jason Benson 22nd, Michael Seymour 23rd, Ward, not Burton, Ward Fisher 24th, John Crutchley gets a 25th, John Campbell 26th. He was a part of a T-bone steak. Tex got in 27th. Swiss Helm, Jones, and Cooper. And then just to round things out very quickly here, we got Barton in 31st. We got Voss in 32nd, and the rest did not take to the grid. But Brad will very quickly head down to our winner's circle here, and he'll have a word with our race winner.
Kyle Gresh, Sexy Waltrip. First of all, your picture is hilarious. Second, congratulations on the win. How are you feeling?
Man, it feels great. I haven't won one of these on an oval in a minute, and I was laughing when I got in the lead because I knew you guys would have to show that photo, and it's always interesting when a broadcaster sees that. They're always like, I
had to clear it with admin to make sure that photo was no issue, and they said that's his whole brand. It's okay. So, yeah, the photo was interesting. Corey has more qualms with it than I do, but we'll let it go there.
I just had to open up my my book a little bit to say it nicely.
Oh, well, he'll be fine.
Oh, we got two Corys. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was like,
it's fine.
It's like, no, it's the other one.
No, it's Corey Silva here. So I got to ask, how did this race treat you? It seemed challenging out there.
Yeah, that's just I don't know. It's just like I like I said, I don't really get to run the next gens that often, but no, it's always funny like trying to get in behind people and like realizing how important dirty air is. I do Indy cars every once in a while, so like I'm used to kind of like just immediately as someone goes to the bottom, just trying to do something else. So I feel like that helped me a little bit, but yeah, it was just like try to get to the bottom, preferred on like new tires, but then like you can kind of get the top lane to work, but you really need to get the top lane to work when you're running in traffic and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Kyle, this sets season 8 off on a good run here. What's the plans for the rest of the season now that you have a win under your belt?
Dude, I don't even know. I wasn't expecting to. I decided to do this race like 5 minutes before it went live, so I hope I can do maybe most of them. Not sure if I'll be here for the playoffs, but life comes first and fun little games come second.
That is the truth. But man, it's congrats on winning here the first round of season 8. It was awesome to watch you run through and see you go through. And it was great to hear Corey Silva up here in the booth have to kind of get comfortable with the Sexy Waltrip brand.
Oh yeah, it's always a fun one when you get to throw that at people, and some people aren't as receptive to it as others are.
Well, man, it was a lot of fun. Congrats on the win. We'll let you go celebrate, and we'll catch up with you later.
Thank you.
All right, and I think we get time for one more, and we'll bring up our second place finish here today, Mr. Davey Hendrick. Davey, you were up in the thick of it. This seemed like a phenomenal race to be in the driver's seat in. A lot of battling, and then all of a sudden a green-white checker where everything went astray. What was your thoughts when that last second caution came out?
I thought it was going to be green-white checker after green-white checker. I thought we would have had a couple more after that, honestly, because typically that late in the race and there's varying tire strategies, usually things go wrong. But we kept it together, thankfully, for the most part. I think I was going to get second regardless. Before that caution, Kyle man, he could have rained me down. I'm not really sure, but I don't know. I'm glad I made it out in one piece.
And I made it out in one piece. Obviously, it said looked like a blast here today. And Obviously, race 1 of the season, so a good confidence booster. And next week, we head to Dover, the Monster Mile. Completely stark difference from what we did here today. How do you take the confidence from a second place here and translate it to next week?
Start in the back, work my way through the pack, and hopefully I can avoid everything. Dover's a great track when you can get a good solid race going, but if it turns into eye-pacing, it is pretty miserable.
And for my sake here in the booth, hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully it's a good race, but congrats on a second, and we'll catch you next week.
Yep, thank you.
And then I just forgot your name for a second. Brad.
Oh, come on, Corey.
I was about to call you Andre for a second. Brad has caught up with our third place finisher, Mr. Steve McClendon.
Steve, defending season 7 champion with Twisty Bits Racing, started 6th, finished 3rd, was trying to run for the win, man. Talk me through your race.
We just tried to stay up front there the whole time and save tires, really. Brad passed me in that first stint there, running the high line, and so I ran that the rest of the race, made a lot of hay up there. So I just tried to save tires the whole time and felt like we were doing the right thing. And was it like 2 to go? Had that caution. Otherwise, I think we had it in the bag.
Man, going through, obviously, you had Jared Jackson, who stayed out, didn't pit on that final run, and it seemed like he caught you up there. Do you think if Jared hadn't have kind of caught you up, you could have took a run for the win there with those 4 tires?
Maybe. It took a couple laps to get the tires up to temp, like real good running temp. So I don't know. I knew I was at a tire deficit regardless, since I pitted earlier than everybody else there. So I was 4 the whole way. Jared certainly held us up, but he's running his own race. I'm not going to get mad at him for that.
Yeah, for sure. Steve, what's going to be the charge for the championship this season?
Just get stage points, try to get wins when you can. Really, stage points kind of key to it. Stay in the points, and then anything can happen once you get to the playoffs. So that's kind of what we did last year. We're going to try to do the same thing again this year.
Awesome, man. Well, good luck on it, and congratulations on the P3, and hopefully we'll talk to you more through the season.
All right. Looking forward to it. Y'all have a great night.
See you, Steve.
All right, so that'll wrap things up here from our initial broadcast here of Triple Bypass. Great race, Clade Racing ends up in a crazy overtime finish, and Gresh gets himself the win. Any final thoughts before we round things out, Brad?
I love Triple Bypass. I'm so excited to see how this season goes.
Yeah, certainly the case here. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. We'll see you live next week on the 11th, but don't miss any of the other racing we have here on the channel, Sim 500 area, and it'll be a busy week, Elbows Out Racing, so make sure you don't miss any of the action. That'll be Corey and Brad signing out of the booth. Have a great night, and we'll catch you next time.
See ya.